Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining me for another exclusive one-on-one spotlight interview right here on the Video Show Network. I've had the pleasure of getting to know this next guest here on a personal level. She's very, very inspiring, not only to me, but to very many. She has learned the hard way on how to take a negative and continue to turn it into a positive. She's had her struggles like all of us, but she's been able to continue moving forward with the right attitude and mindset. She is Valerie MacGregor-Rempel. Not only is she positive, she's a photojournalist, she's a humanitarian, and so many wonderful things. I wanted to take the time to give her an extensive spotlight interview to talk about her travels and her journeys, not just where they've taken her, but where she's going. So now, please join me for this personal one-on-one spotlight interview with my friend, Valerie MacGregor-Rempel. Take a look. All right, well, this time on the spotlight interview, we're already having some fun trying to get things started here, but you helped a lot. You get us going here.
I'm a very serious person.
You're not at all. Valerie MacGregor-Rempel, thanks for being a part of the spotlight here.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You've earned this spotlight, though, I have to tell you. I mean, you've been on the show, and we're talking about some exciting things that were coming up, and you've been able to do some of that. And now on to the next phase, right?
Yeah.
What's, recently, something that was somewhat of an emotional travel for you, over to Cambodia.
Yes.
Photography there, of course, a big part of what you were doing. Talk a little bit about your experience there.
Well, going to Cambodia was definitely any photojournalist's dream. The photos are endless, what to take, between people, temples, you name it. It's just an amazing place. And it's also was a healing place, not just for seeing all what the Cambodian people have gone through since obviously the killing fields and all of that. It was a healing place for myself. I think as a mom and as a photojournalist, and I just wanted more out of life, and wanted to take risk. You know, here I tell people to take risks and get out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
And so I did. And it was an amazing experience. It was different, traveling alone again. I wasn't sure if I was going to do that again. And 24 hours, or roughly 24 hours traveling. And but it was amazing, meeting people from all over the world.
Right.
And knowing that, I can do anything I want, and that I can rise and fall. There's experiences that were utterly amazing and that benefited me, and then there were some sad moments. And but they were all learning moments.
Right.
And that's the most important thing.
Sure. A lot of learning. I mean, Cambodia, it's not something... Where do you want to go tomorrow? I'm going to go to Cambodia, and you said...
I know, that was very quick that I went.
You said that at the beginning of your statement there, though, every photojournalist's dream, and I'm trying to understand, there's positive there, but there's a lot of negative, depressing things happening there, so why would one choose to go to that?
Well, there might be to the world a lot of negative things because of obviously what they've gone through, and millions were killed, and in our lifetime. However, the great thing about Cambodian people is they took all that hurt and pain. You do not see them literally swimming in it anymore. They are rising above it. They've accepted all the generosity from people all over the world.
Right.
So many NGOs are coming in there, and they're helping. Some things don't always work. Right. People are doing the best they can, and that's what's important. We're all human. We all have flaws. We all, like I said earlier, we all rise above, and sometimes we fall. And so some of the decisions that have been made to help some of the people there haven't always succeeded, but some things have, or a lot of things have, to be honest. You're seeing things being built up, but obviously you're still seeing a lot of poverty.
Right.
Where the tourists are, everything is, is nice to some extent. It's Cambodia, the market, it's their life. I didn't want to go in there and have the idea of changing. Right. Or, them, or doing anything like that. I just wanted to take pictures of the essence of the people. And that's what I feel I accomplished. But in the big scheme of it, it was very safe.
Right.
It was the contact. I was able to contact my family almost not 100% of the time, but
yeah, you were
quite a
still
few.
in communication.
Yeah.
I mean, there was, we were communicating
Yeah.
on Facebook,
Yep.
which I found really interesting because, I think, is there any connection over there in Cambodia?
There's a lot. It is a place. It's really a place of, of pure life. People taking everything they have and rising above it.
Right.
And watching a whole family on a construction site. Like literally, there's the husbands working and the wives are working and their 3-year-old children are running around.
Yeah.
Just watching the elegance of the women and how even all the time, always looking their best. And I wanted to make sure, too, I wasn't showing my shoulders.
Right.
And, when I was back at my own place, where I was staying was a different story. But out there, I made sure I was covered. And a lot of people asked why I had a shawl over my head. It wasn't asked of me. It was just really, really hot.
Yeah,
and as a
right.
photographer, you can't wear a hat on your head.
Right.
So there is so much grief that has happened and pain. But they don't live in a soap opera. They don't know that
They don't
world. They
dwell on
just
it.
they move forward.
Right.
Yes, they may cry, and when they when we were going through different things and pictures and stuff like that, they're going to be sad. We're all
Sure.
going to be sad if we looked at such sadness and pain. But move on.
Right. So what would you say, just before we move on, and that's a lot for you to share, because you can hear the emotion that you're sharing and all that, so thanks for that. But just before we move on to the next stage of you, what would you say is the biggest thing you could take away from, in a good way, from going to Cambodia?
The biggest thing that
That's got to be a tough one, eh?
love and freedom.
Love and freedom, yeah.
We are really blessed
Yeah.
to be Canadians. And loving thyself, loving who I am.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I really took away. I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Doing what I do sometimes gets a lot of judgment.
Sure.
Being a woman photojournalist, traveling, is I have moms that will say things to me.
Mm-hmm.
But to learn to, as Taylor Swift says, shake it off.
Yeah. Right.
And really learning to love myself and learning to love all the flaws, loving, even the good things.
Right.
I'm almost 50. I feel pretty good, and
Yeah.
I'm glad that I've done some of
for
the
you.
things that I've done. And I've learned a
Well,
lot.
congratulations on your
Thank
trip
you.
and
Thank you.
experience. Moving more with you, and then we've got a couple more things. There's so much about you. We're gonna do a whole 2-hour documentary on Valerie MacGregor-Rempel. But you as a life coach, that's something, a certified life coach, because I know there's a lot of life coaches, but you're a certified life coach.
Yeah, I did a year training.
Yeah. So what are you doing with that right now?
Well, that will be getting up and running again. Sometimes I took my training last year, but the photography, I can't complain, has kept me really busy.
Yeah.
And then plus, I have other jobs and family. And so now I sort of let the universe guide me too.
Yeah.
Now that I'm being asked more with the life coaching, and just because people have seen how much I have changed. None of us... we're all born a special way. We're all born beautiful and everything, but then life gets involved, and sometimes, good and bad things happen, but they happen to us for a reason. Mm-hmm. And it's how we look at it. I look at my life as a beautiful learning tool, and it's phenomenal. Like, we all have sad stories.
Sure.
But I found a great quote that I posted on my Facebook page is, don't cheat on the future with your past.
Ah, interesting.
But live in the now, like
Sure.
right now. Like, today is a beautiful day, and it's living in what we are given right now.
Yeah.
And if people can learn from me, great.
Right.
And that's my whole goal is what makes a good life coach, a good teacher, is based on experience. A
Right.
great coach that plays football, he played football, so he teaches.
Right.
And so that's really what I'm doing.
And really, hence the name life coach. I
Yeah.
mean, it's,
I've experienced a lot of life.
yeah. And,
Yeah.
and that's what makes you as a life coach, I guess what I was trying to say, is very sincere.
Yeah, been
Because
there.
you've been there, done that,
Yep.
so to speak, right? And
Yep.
and you're able to share that. And I think that's a probably a quality. There's a lot of good life coaches out there, but honestly, I think that's for me to be life coached by somebody, that would be a number one thing I'd want to see on their resume. Was okay, but so you took this course, that's nice, but
Yep.
what have you done? And you've
Yep.
done it,
Yep.
really. You're experiencing it, and you seem to have. There's been a lot in the short time we've known each other. You've gone through quite
Yep.
a lot of this, and you've come out so wonderful with it. Is it hard to take your own life coach advice sometimes?
Oh, you get it slammed in your head sometimes, because every time I read and study and just listen to other people too, it's like, okay, I do have to sit back and listen to what I'm
Right.
giving out. And but it's all good.
Yeah.
Like we all learn, like I love, as you know, race cars and stuff like
Yep.
that. Sometimes, a good crash, you've crashed, you've come out of it alive,
Right.
and you're all okay, but you learn from it.
Sure.
That's just like me. I've made to some people, some huge mistakes. Well, none of my business.
Yeah.
To other people, I've accomplished a lot.
Yeah.
But what's important is how I feel, and that's the gift I want to give other people. It's how you feel in your
Yeah.
own skin, in your own life, and
I think we forget that a lot.
yeah,
you know.
well, because especially
It's
like
easy
as
to-
North
it's easy to
Americans,
forget,
we get
right?
really caught up in what everybody thinks. It's sort of almost
Yeah.
drilled into us.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we're accountable to ourselves. And we all make mistakes. There's not a person.
No way.
Yeah.
Not all of us.
Well, I laugh when people
Yes.
say, when people are judging others, and it's like, okay, you do know.
You know that you do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hear you.
And we all make it. That's why I always say sometimes I wear high boots, because, it depends on how much crap I've stepped
Yeah,
in.
that's right. Well, it's a programming, right? We've been
Yeah.
programmed a certain way, and we do things sometimes we don't even realize it.
Now I'm learning to smile even more,
Yeah.
because giving
I think
love.
the more you smile, it keeps them thinking too.
Oh yeah, why is she smiling?
What's she smiling about?
But life is so precious.
Yes.
And with having, two boys that were really, really sick at birth, they've been my driving force.
Yeah.
And even when I was in Cambodia and Haiti, seeing children starving and being abandoned, and even here I've seen here, children that are born, addicted to drugs and
Yeah.
stuff like that. We need to get our heads out of our
Say
arse.
it. Say it.
Get our heads out of our asses
That's right.
and really move forward.
Yep.
And instead of when you see somebody walk by, just say what a beautiful person.
Yeah.
Because if you say something negative, you're really talking about yourself.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that you say that. A friend of mine who's a very positive person, she made a comment the other day that she made a comment to the bank teller, "What I really like that shirt." And the bank teller was like, "Well, just before you, this guy came in. It's like, what the heck is that shirt, right?"
Yeah.
And it was just interesting to see how that little comment, she was ready to throw the shirt out
Yeah.
and never wear it again until she walked in. So just how we can affect people in a
Well, and
tiniest
how
little way, right?
how easy we want to surrender our power,
Yeah.
give our power away. I've done that enough in my life, because this is my life, and if I dug into everybody else's,
Yeah.
everybody else has.
You wouldn't have time for your own.
No, and that's the thing.
That's right.
People
It takes so much energy.
People focus on other people's stuff because they don't want to look within.
That's right.
And look within,
Yeah.
and love heals.
Yeah.
Love moves mountains. If we all turn around and love more and be nice and kind,
Yeah.
such amazing things will happen.
I want to hear more, but we're almost out of time.
Yeah.
So there's a couple more things I want to touch base. But thanks so much for sharing. You're gonna have to follow up to her website and stuff, because there's so much to learn from Valerie MacGregor-Rempel. But let's move on to a couple of events that you've got coming up. First with the Painted Cat, who we know
Yes.
very well.
Yes, she's amazing. It's she asked me. We've been wanting to do something together for a long time, but now it's finally happening on November 21st at the Painted Cat, and I'm going to be a guest speaker with some other fabulous speakers, and going to be painted. And it's taking the words out of my own journals, the positive things that I have written. And also I talked to Kat regarding some of the negative words that have been said to me, and how we can take them and have them fuel.
Right.
And because I've had some horrendous things said to me in my life from really people that I love, but it fueled me. It's not that I want to swim in it, but it's going to be on my back, and it's quite symbolic to leaving things behind.
It can be a motivator.
It is.
Yeah.
Someone tells me I can't do it. Hello.
That's right.
I'm going to be climbing that.
Okay.
And I have something that is very close to my heart is Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
I'm very pumped.
You're super excited about that. We were just talking about that earlier.
Well, mainly I'm excited because it's for the Alzheimer's Society here in Lambton County. And my grandmother passed away with the disease, and so to raise money for such a fabulous organization is very, very close to my heart. And really, I have one of my pictures that's up for auction too.
That's right. And it really, you probably know this, but Alzheimer's touches about 3,500 people right here in Lambton County.
Yep.
And actually talking to some people from Alzheimer's, that number is probably staggeringly low. Yep. Because that doesn't include the younger people that is being affected by it, right? Yeah. So it's in the thousands right here in our backyard.
And we really need to really
sure.
embrace this organization. I know there's so many causes in the city, but it's Dancing with the Stars. It's on.
So you're going to dance?
I am. I'm dancing with Vasco, and I'm really excited. Eve Morgan started this up, restarted it. I'm pretty excited.
That's awesome. You're awesome. And I'm so glad that we met. It's been just about a year now, just a little over a year when we first met. And
we actually met a few times.
Well, yeah, I guess it was quite a few.
Probably where we got to know each other.
I guess officially. Yeah. And we've become good friends.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you have a beautiful family, and I think you're an amazing man, and what you do for our community is really important. Well,
thank you very much. Jennifer, do you have that $20 bill that we can pass over here? I do appreciate that, because that means a lot.
Well, it's true.
You know, I think it's these connections that are making good things happen in all of our lives. And I know that I always choose to surround myself with great people. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you at the Painted Cat. I'm going to make sure that she lets me in there.
Yeah.
And dancing, I don't know. Good for you for taking on that
it's
one.
For me?
Yeah. You're going to do awesome.
I'm going to have a great time,
perfect.
For sure.
Thank you so much for inviting us into your home.
Oh, my pleasure.
And allowing me to give you what you deserve, this spotlight interview. Oh. And normally this is where I do this, but we just do this instead, right? So, there we go. This is Valerie MacGregor-Rempel, this time on the Spotlight interview. So much more. I'm going to go back and talk some more, give you your website and how you can reach out to this wonderful lady. This has been an exclusive one-on-one Spotlight interview on the Video Show Network. Thanks for watching. Inspiring and such a positive message being shared there with our friend Valerie MacGregor-Rempel. Valerie, thank you so much for inviting us into your home and her studio. It's a beautiful place there, and just really enjoyed talking to Valerie. I wish we had more time. Never know, maybe we'll do a documentary on you, Valerie. That would be a lot of fun. I invite all of you to reach out to Valerie as well. There's a website on the screen to connect with her. She certainly welcomes to hear from all of you, and reach out to her on Facebook as well. And looking forward as well to see what's going to be happening down there with her in the Painted Cat on November the 21st. If you watch my show, you'll see some follow-up to that. And Dancing with the Stars as well. I know Valerie is super excited about that. Valerie, thank you so much, and I look forward to the next time we talk again. And thanks to all of you for watching. This has been an exclusive one-on-one Spotlight interview right here on the Video Show Network. Thanks for watching.